We've got Pro Football Weekly's exclusive way we hear it, all the news, scoops, and rumors before they happen. And Hub, let's start in Indianapolis. We know that now the Colts have put Kerry Collins on IR, but kept Peyton Manning off of IR. What's going on there? Are they expecting Peyton to play, or what's the situation?
Well, it caught a lot of people by surprise. The reality is that Bill Polian knows Peyton Manning isn't going to play again this year, but what they are hoping is that he'll be able to practice with the team late November, maybe December, so they can evaluate where he's at in his rehabilitation from his 3 surgical procedures. The bottom line is they have a decision to make at quarterback. If they get the Andrew Luck pick, they're going to take him, regardless of whether Peyton stays for a year or 2 or is done. We're also hearing reports now that Reggie Wayne is telling people he does not expect to be back with the Indianapolis Colts. And if, in fact, they decided to move on from Peyton and Reggie Wayne, you have to think, according to my sources, they'd revisit Jim Caldwell as head coach, too. And get this, folks, I know Bill Polian is supposedly under a lot of heat in Indianapolis. One of the 2 or 3 most successful GMs in the history of the NFL. He didn't suddenly become dumb. They do have a plan, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it right now, because you think, where was the backup plan for Peyton? But he played so well and so often for so long, it's hard to argue with them not having someone ready to go. In San Diego, things have not been pretty for the Chargers offense. Phillip Rivers has really struggled. What's going on there?
Well, the one thing that people are starting to realize now is they've got big problems on the offensive line, and nobody saw that coming. The tackles have not played well. Chris Dielman had a concussion and a seizure. We don't even know when he'll be back once you start with something like a seizure. They're not protecting for the pass. They're not run blocking very well. And at the end of the season, they're going to have to rebuild that offensive line if they can't find something in the next couple of weeks, because none of these guys are kids.
Yeah, they just didn't. I don't think people expected it to happen this quick. They thought the Chargers offense, once they recovered from all their injuries at skill positions last year, would really get going. It hasn't happened.
You know, it's still a talented team, maybe the most talented team in the AFC West, but it's not the uber-talented San Diego roster we've been used to the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, no, people waiting for that team to kind of rise up and win a championship. It's not the team it once was. In Minnesota, things are not going well with their stadium. Not sure what exactly is going to happen, where the Vikings might play next.
Governor Mark Dayton spoke out this past Wednesday and said they did not have the votes to get funding for a stadium. There would be no special session in the legislature prior to next February, when the Vikings lease on the Dome expires. The next day, Thursday morning, he said he'd been contacted by folks who favored finding a way to fund it. Maybe they could call a special session between now and February, but what we're hearing is it won't happen. They won't have a new stadium deal by February 25th. The Vikings will be a franchise free agent. Now, the Wilfs want to stay in Minnesota. They're not looking to go to Los Angeles, but with no lease to hold them, Los Angeles is going to throw big money at them, and the Vikings have now become the front runner for most likely next team in LA.
It's like right there with the Andrew Luck sweepstakes is the LA sweepstakes. What team is finally going to end up back in Los Angeles? That's the way we hear it for this week. For the best information in the NFL, check us out at ProFootballWeekly.com.